Hello, welcome to Mr. Stewart's Math 7 classroom. I'm doing this video as an introduction to who I am as your teacher, and also a little bit about what you get to expect this year in my math class. This video is also available as a slideshow on Prezi, and I'll make sure I provide the link as well. So if you are in Mr. Stewart's Math 7 class, you are listening to the right video. This is especially important for people who are unable to come to the back to school night, so you can get to know your teacher a little bit more before you come. We'll just go right into it here. So this first slide is a little about me, and I'll explain a little bit more than what you see on the text. So I did graduate from Pineview High School in class of 2005. We just had our 10-year reunion, and I was pretty heavily involved. I did basketball and track and cross country. I was also involved in student government, and I was involved in choir, and also did theater, a little bit of theater. So just kind of liked to be involved in a lot of different things. I was a pretty good student, and I really enjoyed my time at Pineview High School. I learned Spanish as a full-time missionary for my church. I was an LDS mission, and I went to Argentina. So I still like to practice my Spanish. Se habla español si quiere hablar, o si necesita hablar o comunicar en español, se puede, o puedo tratar por lo menos. So if you didn't understand what I said, I was just explaining in Spanish that I can try to still speak in Spanish, but I'm a little rusty. So I got my Associate of Science degree from Dixie State College. It was Dixie State College at the time. So I was here at the school when we were still the Rebels, and then they changed that to the Red Hawks. And then I was actually, after my mission, I came back, and that was when they changed it to the Red Bulls, which sounds a little bit like rebels, Red Bulls, rebels. So kind of escaped that mess. I was home a year. I just finished my associate degree, and I proposed to my now wife. Her name is Liz. She's from Santa Clara area, so she went to Snow Canyon. And we got married in the summer of 2009. So then we both transferred up to Utah State University. She got her bachelor's degree, and I got my bachelor's degree in mathematics. That was my major, and I minored in Spanish secondary education. And so here I am teaching math. I am currently in my 4th semester as a master's degree student. I'm doing a master's of education in instructional technology. I really enjoy the classes I've been able to take. It's all about how to create engaging learning material online, or just using technologies of a different kind. But more than just depending on technologies, it's really trying to create things that students would enjoy learning and be engaged in. So I'm going to be trying some new things based on some things I've been learning from my master's degree classes, and I'm really excited about that. So I've been married to my wife for 6 years, and I have a toddler. His name is Logan, and so this picture's about a year old now. He's not that small anymore. But he's talking a lot, he's running around, and he's a great joy in our lives. And I am now teaching, this is my 3rd year at Fossil Ridge Intermediate School, teaching Math 7 and Math 7 Honors. So I get to do both of those things. And I've had prior teaching experience. I did my student teaching at Dixie Middle School, and I also did some classwork at Logan High School at Utah State, or in Logan, and also at Mount Logan Middle School. Why I'm a teacher, this is something that a lot of people sort of frown upon when I haven't seen somebody for a while and they ask me, what are you doing with your life? And I tell them I'm a teacher. They almost seem like they're disappointed, like I could have done more with my life and I'm settling. And I don't approach it that way. I don't think that's the case. I honestly feel like this is where I needed to be and where I wanted to be. And who knows where it's going to take me. But I enjoy teaching, and the reason I chose teaching is because I realized when I was just bouncing around different jobs through college and didn't like most of them, but I found the most joy when I was working with youth, when I was attempting to inspire them or help them or just have a better life. And also when I was working with, when I was teaching and learning at the same time. And there's no better place to be a teacher and a learner than being a teacher for youth, for 7th graders. So I love this quote. It says, "In a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something less. Because passing civilization along from one generation to the next ought to be the highest honor and the highest responsibility anyone could have." And then I have a teacher from Utah State University. He was a math education professor, and he would always say, "Teaching is not brain surgery, it's much harder." And not to downplay the doctors out there who actually perform brain surgery, I would never want to be in your shoes. But if you take that as what he means by that is a brain surgeon has one brain to focus on and has numerous hands to help to help in the procedure. The doctor has nurses and staff all around making sure every procedure is going perfectly right. And he's got all the time in the world, or she's got all the time in the world to perform the surgery. A teacher, on the other hand, has, well, I'm going to be working with about 150 different brains on a daily basis, and each one is completely different, and I do not have extra hands. Teachers are spread pretty thin, and so you can see the analogy there kind of works. It's much more challenging than brain surgery in that aspect. All right, this is what you can experience in my classroom this year. I've got a few other videos that go into more detail. My expectations are for you to be rad and have fun. RAD is an acronym, stands for Respect, Achieve, and Discover. And watch my other video to learn a little bit more about that. I do a lot of interactive instructional strategies, which is just kind of they're more social. So if you're used to not talking, that's okay. I still appreciate being respectful, but you'll be talking a lot more about math with your peers. When students hear that they're going to be talking in my class, their first thoughts are they get to talk about anything they want. And that's not true. Sometimes I do give you a few minutes so you can kind of warm up and get your brain thinking about something that's not math related. But for the 50 minutes you're going to be in my class, I expect you to be working on the math. And that is not necessarily just quietly sitting and working on a worksheet. That's going to be collaborating and working together. And you're going to be developing some skills that will be helpful for you, not only in math, but in all of the rest of your classes, and hopefully in your future careers, or future path, whatever you choose to do with your life. You got two different grades you're going to be receiving, an effort grade and an academic grade. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this right now, but basically an effort grade is showing how much you've tried in my classroom, and an academic grade shows how much you understand. Mostly academic grades are going to be based on quizzes and test scores or performance tasks, and effort grades are going to be things like homework assignments, discussions and chats that you are engaging in my class, and also as a homework assignment. You'll be given an online textbook code this year from bigideasmath.com. I'll have more detail for you on that. This is a good resource for you to use. We don't base everything we teach word for word from the textbook, but it is an excellent resource and a guide, especially for those of you who are trying to help your children out and figuring some of the math out. This is a good place for you to go. You'll have homework practice opportunities nearly every day. I think I probably assign small bits of homework once a day, maybe with the exception of sometimes we take Fridays off, but expect to have something every day. So parents, when your kids come home and you ask them if they have homework and they say no, I would just double check that. We're going to have a few ways to communicate what homework assignments are due and stuff, but it's always kind of it's almost a given that there will be something. It's not going to be very heavy. It's going to be pretty easy homework assignments, but just little things to get you thinking about math outside of the classroom. Materials that we're going to be using in class, video discussions, quizzes, etc., are going to be available all online. So even if you miss a day, you can actually technically should be able to listen to our lecture from the day, engage in the classroom virtually, even though you wouldn't be live, you'd be listening to a recording, and then you could access all of your homework online. So you do need something that allows you to connect to the internet. I realize this is not possible for some of you, and if you do have circumstances that don't allow you to have any device, whether it's just a mobile cell phone, tablet, or a computer at home, you need to let me know, because I can get all of the materials to you as printouts, and if they're videos that you have to watch, then I can get those to you in a different way. So but they will all be available on schoology.washk12.org. This is where all of the content is going to be submitted. So you're going to actually submit your homework assignments through this website. You're going to be going there on a regular basis, probably daily. Okay. This is my website, tinyurl.com/math7friss. It's just my own personal website. Everything that is on there is also going to be on schoology.washk12.org, but I'm trying to just learn how to do website stuff, so it's just kind of a fun practice for me. It's important that you feel safe, that my classroom is a safe learning environment, so I take teasing and bullying very seriously. There's a time and place to just kind of have fun, but I will watch carefully, and I will make sure that if I see any type of negative or degrading behavior, even words said, looks, just body language or physical actions, that I just take care of it immediately. I take it seriously, and I usually take those right to the principal or to the assistant principal, and I let them handle that. It's important that everybody feels safe in my classroom, and that everybody feels like it's okay to make mistakes, because you will make mistakes, and if you're not making mistakes, you're not doing much of anything. So if you feel safe, then you're going to try, and if you try, then you will actually learn. I like this quote. It says, "The person who makes no mistakes does not usually make anything." Okay, these are our team goals. These might be a little bit different. But it's kind of always been a goal of ours to make sure as a Math 7 team that all students who require intervention will receive it. By now, if you've come through this school as a 6th grader, you're very familiar with the REACH program, so you understand that if there's something you're struggling with, we're going to utilize that half an hour a day extra to try to get you into our classrooms to help you. This is not a punishment. I've had a lot of students tell me when I try to get them into my REACH to get a little extra math practice. We call it red stamping. They say, "Oh, Mr. Stewart, you keep stamping me, so that means you hate me." And I tell them, no, if I hated you, I wouldn't stamp you, because that means I wouldn't want to work with you. So if I'm stamping you, it means that I like you, I like working with you, and I actually believe that you have an opportunity to succeed. And I think you should experience that success. And if that just means an extra half an hour with me, then so be it. So please don't fight it. It's something that I'd really like to help every student who needs that help. Oftentimes I miss a few students. They try to kind of slip away without being noticed, even though they need help. And I've always appreciated those students that have approached me and asked me if they could come in for REACH to get a little extra practice. I don't think I've ever turned a student away unless I had something specific planned that day that I wouldn't have time to help them out with. But I'm kind of an open door policy. I'm usually at my classroom by about 7 a.m. and I'm usually out by 3 or 3:30. But between those times and during lunch, I have an open door policy, which means if I'm here and the door is open and you need help, you can walk in and I will try to help you with whatever math you need. Okay. So our other goals are students will demonstrate proficiency in every math unit, okay? And all students who demonstrate proficiency will be challenged with extensions related to the core. Proficiency to me means that you actually understand not only how to do the math, but why we're doing the math. So we're going to be looking at a lot of real-world applications, projects, things that you might actually use and see this math in the real world. Excuse me. Okay, just a few reminders. They always like to make sure you know that you're what bus number you ride that first day. So things kind of get a little hectic that first day. You will be receiving text message reminders from me and also email reminders from me about homework due dates, test dates upcoming, and then other random things like if we have some sort of class project coming up and little reminders. Okay. It's through an app called Class Messenger. You don't need to download the app in order to receive those messages, but if you'd like to reply to me, if you have an actual question, you can actually reply to it through that app. It's free to download and use. Of course, texting plans apply, so if you get charged per text message on your regular cell phone plan, then that would apply there. I don't see your numbers, and you won't see mine, but it's through this like program that we can kind of communicate with each other. And this one actually allows you to communicate with other parents. So if you have a question, you're just not sure what's going on, a lot of times other parents can sort of create this community and help each other out and talk to each other and offer support. You can obviously disconnect or leave the text message alert service at any time. I'm going to encourage both parents or legal guardians and students to sign up for these. If you communicate more through email, that's great. I can have it sent directly to your email. If you can communicate more easily through text messaging, that's awesome. It's going to go directly to your cell phone. But a lot of students have their own cell phones anymore, and so it's also important that we get them to sign up for it. So let's say I had a homework assignment and it was due tomorrow. I'd actually probably set up like an alert or reminder around 5 p.m. Just a little ding that says, hey, make sure you do this homework assignment, and it'll usually have a link attached to it so that if students forget whatever they were supposed to do, it'll still be there. This has worked really effectively in the past, and so I look forward to using it again this year. Okay, that's everything that I am willing to share right now. If you have any further questions, you can directly just talk to me person to person, or you can email me. I have a Twitter account, Stewart Math. Okay, that's my math Twitter. You can follow me on that. And there's other ways to communicate with me as well. My email address is huck.stewart@washk12.org. And I look forward to working with each one of you and your students this year. Thank you for watching.